just making this quick video to demonstrate some of the peculiarities we go through on a day-to-day basis in a car repair workshop. This is a Fiat Grande Pinto thing, and it has failed its MOT on the airbag light being permanently on, which is that guy there, or as my friend John would like me to say, that guy there. So I've already checked this car out, I know what the problem is, but I'm going to show you the process and sometimes the difficulties of finding out what's going on. Okay, so one of the first things to do, we plug her in to see what our readings are. I don't know if you can see on here. Engine management, ABS, a body computer, power steering, an instrument panel, and some bits and pieces. But no airbag computer has been detected. And we do have a problem with our body control module, saying it's not speaking to the airbag as well as some other stuff. Radio is no longer fitted, and it does have a stoplight out. So yeah, we've got no communication with our airbag computer. That's from a full system scan. I went out and I tried to scan that independently. Could not scan it then either. So the next course of action is we pay lots of money for lots of technical information, wiring diagrams, fuse boxes, fuse locations, and a different company for different wiring diagrams. Now, fuse boxes. And these companies have to pay the manufacturers a lot of money for this information. All wrong. None of this is right. This one doesn't list any. It lists some good wiring stuff and removal procedures, but it doesn't list any fuses or wiring for it. So, I've checked. Oh, it should be it's the 2007, so it should be this. Where are we? That should be our fuse box there. It's not that fuse box in the car. The fuse box in the car looks like this one, which is usual Fiat madness, just randomly numbered. However, in the car we don't have these. We have 7 row fuses, so 2 rows of 7, numbered 1 to 14, completely different. However, that position should be what matters, so it doesn't really matter the number too much. That position should be what matters. So let's have a look. Okay, we're in the car. You see our fuses. Now what we've also noticed is someone has wired badly this thing up to run stereo and the Bluetooth, but that's not our concern fuse at the moment. We're concerned about the second fuse down, which is that red 10 amp fuse just there. We test the fuse. Oh, it's working. Okay, that's not our problem. Sorry, just putting this little tool away. So we test that fuse. The fuse isn't our problem, so we'd have to move on further down the line if we believed the information we had from our data suppliers that we pay money for. And I do not blame them for this, because they pay money to Fiat for this. But I've never been to the Fiat factory, but I'm pretty confident it's a bloke in a shed and he will throw on whatever he's got lying around onto any model of car. So any technical information you have for a Fiat, you cannot rely on. So anyway, that fuse says the circuit is live. So our next step would be to pull out the airbag computer, which is buried under the centre of the car here, which the customer would have to pay for our time and expertise at doing so. But because I wasn't 100% confident with these little numbers, because like I say, this is numbered 1 to 14, what our data says different, I thought maybe I'll just check out a forum. So after a little bit of Googling, I found an owner's forum. Took me about 30 seconds, with a completely different fuse diagram and different fuse locations. So I'll show you what I noticed on the car. Right, we're back in the car. I'm trying to light this for you, but it's very hard. The torch gets in the way otherwise. So according to this other diagram I found on the owners group, it should be fuse 13 for the airbag fuse, and they're numbered correctly on the owners group. So I do trust it a bit more.
There's no manual in the car for me to refer to, so I'm going to trust the owner's club rather than the very expensive information we pay for. And it says fuse 13, this should be our fuse. So I go to fuse 13, which is not there. Somebody's removed the fuse. And that would give good cause for the airbag system not to work. It also gives me cause not to trust our wiring diagrams.
This is the wiring diagram I have for the vehicle. I'm not going to show it for very long because I know people who get in trouble for this sort of thing, showing information, blah blah blah. Anyway, paid lots of money for this. It's fucking useless. I just had a quick skim through all the other fuses in the fuse box, in the main fuse box as well. They're all working, and none of them tally up with the information that, again, that we pay for as to what they do. So I'm left in the position of assuming that that fuse that's missing is our fuse. And someone's been playing with this car. Now the worry is, why is that fuse missing? Am I about to plug in a fuse and watch the car explode because all the airbags go off and write this car off? Or is it going to do nothing and that diagram's completely wrong? Let's have a look. Okay, so I've refitted the fuse. I've just turned the ignition on and nothing has exploded. So let's go back in to our diagnostic system, exit that, and let's just do a full system scan. So scanning away, we found an engine. Brilliant. Ooh, it's very slow because it's an older protocol car. Communication takes a little while. Come on, buddy. Oh. What's that? We've got an airbag module showing no codes. Brilliant. Which means we can now clear the light and stuff like that. However, we have no idea why that fuse was removed. Is there other issues with the car? What else that fuse controls? Because we don't have any accurate diagrams for it. So all we could do is explain this to the customer, and it's up to them if they want to spend the money and let us spend more time on it and correctly fix the vehicle, or, looking at the state of this car, I think there's going to be answer B, or just get it through its MOT. Anyway, that's just some of the daily stuff you see on a car. Someone could get this car in for an airbag fault such as this and get, I know people who get a bit worried and confused, but if you've got the information, or even in this case you don't have the information, but if you just use a bit of logic, you know, it's a fairly simple process, step by step. You do a scan, oh, the computer's not registered, well, make sure the computer has got power to it is the very first thing you want to do, and then go on from there. You're just testing a circuit, it's fairly straightforward. Anyway, the life, or a day in the life of a workshop, hey?